Hey guys, I hope everybody is doing well. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel exhausted from this November. So many great lessons, you know what I mean? Lessons that I wouldn't trade for anything, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it's rough. It's been rough, but it has been like just one of those months where you're just kind of thinking, oh, God, is it like not? Is it? I don't know. I never thought is it over, but so many lessons, so much energy. I don't know if you guys have been feeling that way. I know a lot of my friends have been feeling that way. People I love. I had my best friend leave yesterday. She was here for 2 weeks. She's from Scotland. Her name's Kimbo. If you don't follow me on Instagram, the link is down below. You can kind of see how we've hung out the past 2 weeks. And I got sick and I had to work, so I spent every waking moment with her. So I was kind of MIA. But also, I had to deal with a lot of, I think we all do it. By the way, this is just a last minute reading, just because I felt led to. I don't know about your lessons, but mine had to do with, like, I had to let go the thought of, hey, I'm always going to get fucked over. It came with a lot of pain. Now, as you can see behind me, I teach. So I have to get up super early in the morning. It's hard to get a full night's sleep for me. Just in general, not just because of teaching. And, I work another job and then I do this. And I'm building something and I understand. And it's going to come with hard work. If you want to build something, you have to know what happens behind the scenes. And I've prepared my heart for this for years. So that doesn't bother me at all. But it seemed like the nights I got a full night's rest, the next days were like, the universe was like, you are all rested up. We are working on this. And it's like, why though? Can I just have a mental breakdown when I'm like half asleep? Or are you knowing that I'm just going to blame it on lack of sleep? They weren't full breakdowns. Pretty close. I had 2 this month. And I wanted to share it with you guys before I go into this monthly energy reading. I feel like somebody needs to hear that they're not alone. I know the lesson might be different for all of you, but for me personally, the first one was opening my heart. Like, you're not weak if you admit that you want love. That you love yourself. You love yourself entirely, but there's nothing wrong with wanting love. Like, don't we all just want to be loved? So, that reciprocal kind of love. I had this idea, and I made a video on codependency and coming out of that, if you want to check that out. But, that was my first lesson that I came into, and that came after a full night's sleep. The second one, yeah, you heard me right. I got 2 full nights of sleep. I got sleep, but like straight on through, 2 nights this month. It's a record. But the second one was, I think we all hit that spot, because you have to understand, I was not very open to romance for the longest time. And I didn't realize it after a breakup, and it wasn't a horrible breakup, but it was a painful one, because it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. That, it was then I really did focus on myself, and I didn't want to date anybody, and I wanted to just love myself. But in the process, I didn't have an open heart to allowing love in. So I closed my heart chakra for an entire year without knowing. I think I always knew deep down, but didn't want to face it. So now for the past few months, I've been going through growing pains of opening it back up. Oh, man. I knew it was going to be painful, but not this painful. And I actually had it right before Kimbo left. I'm really glad too. She's always here when, like, I need her the most. Now, I go through changes, like, all the time. Ruled by the moon. Like, moon phases. I'm just always constantly growing, constantly changing. But rarely do I have these... You know, I know people say cancers cry all the time. I mean, I cry at movies and stuff ever since I've become a mom. Like, I just... Anything sentimental, I'm just like... But when it comes to me and my personal life, it takes a lot for me to shed some tears. It has to hurt a lot for me to feel the need to crawl back in my shell, so to speak, and just kind of cry it out. But I did. And I had to release the thought that I was always going to get fucked over. Because I think everybody comes to a point in their life, especially in romance, where it's like, is it always going to be like this? And it sounds petty, but it's an honest question. When you're trying to break patterns and you're trying to, you know, and that's the word, trying. The biggest thing you have to do that is surrender. And I learned to surrender. I'm still learning to surrender. Surrender. Mercury rep. Yeah, we're in retrograde. Again. Nothing compares to Venus, though. Oh my gosh. This almost feels like a breeze. Almost. But, that's the lessons I've learned. It's, how to continue this journey. Not with a closed heart. You know, getting to know yourself and loving yourself also means learning to receive love. That's a huge lesson, and we could say it all day, but is your heart truly open to receiving any kind of love? You have to have that balance between the two. And I felt like it was necessary for me to have my heart closed for a while, just because of past behavior, but not for as long as it went on for. And I am grateful for that time where I really did learn to love myself, but closing my heart for so long has taken its toll. And I think that a lot of us don't really think much about that. We really don't think of how it can really influence our day-to-day life, our soul, our spirit. So that's something to keep in mind, is if you're on this journey and you want to love yourself, that doesn't mean closing yourself up to the rest. A part of loving yourself is just being open to everything and being one with everything and everyone who comes along, and seeing them as a teacher, not as a foe. Not seeing them as someone who could potentially hurt you, but rather seeing them as like, hey, this person could teach me something. And differentiating between, should I let this person into my life or should I keep boundaries up? That's where you practice it with an open heart. And that's something that I didn't do for a long time. And I'm definitely learning that now. And I'm very grateful for it. There is a certain freedom, and there is growing pains. I didn't share this with a whole lot of people. I don't even share this with my friends. I shared it with Kimberly, of course. But she's like my soulmate. She really is my soulmate. She's one of my soulmates. This relationship's really strange. Like, I've never had it before. My best friend in the whole world. We've had lifetimes together, I swear. But anyway, yeah, so that's something that I haven't spoken of, is my heart has literally, you will go through growing pains. My heart has literally been hurting physically. Like that ache. Like a mourning for a few months now. And it's starting to go away finally. Finally. And I think it's when I accepted that I'm not going to get fucked over all the time. And that's something that I was taught growing up. And that's not my reality now. I would love to hear if you guys have learned any big lessons like that this month. Please leave a comment below. I'd really like to hear what you have to say. If you guys have left comments before, like I said, I've been with Kimbo and I've been sick, and this month has been crazy. So, but I got new things coming for December, which I'll announce in all of the readings coming up for December. This is an overall general for everybody about recapping on lessons, and also how we can apply them in December, so to speak. It's not going to be very long. I just kind of wanted to have a coffee talk with you guys. It's not tea this time. I need coffee. But I don't know. It has not been a bad month. It's been a really good month. Tiring. Exhausting. Crazy. Soul. We have temperance. Patience. Temperance. Being patient with ourselves and learning the balance. As you could see before, she had as above, so below. Transformation. We have the death card. Yeah, being patient in our transformation, patient in letting go what no longer serves us and all the attachments that we have, and keeping the balance with it. The Two of Coins. I feel like this has a lot to do with the physical, in the physical realm. Because what's going on within us will definitely reflect the outside. And I think this card, what I'm feeling, is what it's saying. It's... why can't I talk? Anyway, it's balancing that, what's going on within us, with the exterior. Like, we do need to be patient with ourselves and embrace the balance, the yin, the yang, the dark, the light, because we are both. And in that will bring transformation. But you know, transformation in the midst of doing everyday shit, not an easy task. Yeah. So we have the Seven of Pentacles to clarify temperance. So what's that saying to me? That's saying to me about the balancing act again. This is a time of family, or it was this past month. In November. So this last month we were trying to learn our lessons and balance and like kind of figuring out what's going on within us during a time where it's literally all about family. It's all about family and that stability. Everybody's gathering together in the little tree. And here we are, we're like, you know what? I don't even have any room or time to figure out my shit. But we tried. And we still are. We also have the King of Swords reversed, clarifying the Death card. What this tells me right off the bat is logic, just as emotion, has a place and a time. We can't be overly logical and overly observant, or not observant, but overly it can't be black and white in your transformation. There are 20 billion gray areas. Trust me. I feel like with the King of Swords reverse, you'll do more damage trying to make sense of what's going on than just accepting the transformation as it is. We have the Knight of Cups reversed, clarifying temperance. But let's go back to the Seven of Swords, clarifying the Two of Pentacles. feel like some of us may feel tempted to keep our thoughts to ourselves. All this inner turmoil. All of these thoughts running through our heads. Just to keep that balance within the physical and the spiritual. And now we're kind of neglecting ourselves mentally. Because we're just holding all these thoughts back in hopes that it'll bring some form of balance to our reality. And I just don't think that's how it works, fam. I'm not saying go and spill the beans to a random stranger at the grocery store. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's good to be aware of those thoughts. It's good to be aware of what you're hiding, even from yourself. I don't think this is so much about sharing it with other people, but being honest with yourself about what you're truly thinking, what stories you're telling yourself. And with the Knight of Cups reversed over Temperance, I honestly think that's just us turning down offers right now to focus on ourselves. It could be love. It could be what I'm getting is our cups are empty. Like, we can't offer anything when our cups are empty. Because here's the cup up here in the corner, and reversed, it is down. And that's the message I'm getting. We can't pour from an empty cup. So even if we feel like, I feel like doing all this work in the midst of everything in November, all the family time and everything like that, when we're trying to figure out this and going through a transformation, we try to make it too, like, super logical, and we get up in our heads about it. We're drained. We don't have a whole lot left to give. And I feel like that's happened for a lot of people this past month. So the lesson here is trying to find a balance of filling your cup. Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness. Yes. Anyway, it's just like, finally. I can't yell too loud. No, seriously though. Learn to fill your cup. I know I'm guilty of, like, the only cup that's kind of full is this coffee cup. And I'm getting back into the groove. I think a lot of us have. And I think it's easy, especially for us who are highly sensitive. You know, we give and give and give. And we're sensitive to other people. And it drains us. And when we're going through a transformation in the midst of all of it, we're like, ah! And we try to think logically, because trying to think emotionally, we don't even know where we are. And that's also about creating boundaries and clearing your energy. But sometimes between family and this, like, it's just like, when do I have the time? Excuse me. That's when I was supposed to wake up. Because I was going to sleep more, and I was like, I'm probably just going to feel like crap if I sleep more. So here we are. I knew I just felt too led to do this reading to sleep. I don't edit these videos. You just get all of me, okay? I will eventually edit videos, but in tarot, no. You're gonna get it all. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, clarifying the King of Swords reversed. That clarifies the Death card. So we are at the end of a cycle, fam. God, finally. And that's what this month was about. Karmic cycles. Ending cycles. Another thing that's coming into me is with the ego. I feel a lot of people reject the ego. I'm seeing it with the King of Swords reversed. Don't reject the ego. Make it work to your advantage. there's a difference between people who are living in the ego, and that's when the ego completely takes over their life, and people who know how to kind of like tame the beast, so to speak. And I feel like a lot of people don't bother to harness all the good that could come from doing so. And then at the bottom of the deck, because we got our last card, is the devil. What I'm getting from this is there are still parts of us that we're still working out. There's parts of us, because of all the chaos, it is so easy to get distracted in this time of family and, Yule's coming up, Christmas. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy to get caught up in it all. And don't be afraid of that shadow side, you guys. Don't trap yourself because you're too busy to face these parts of yourself. Make time. Our year is ending with a bang, and a different kind of bang, but still a bang. Now, I got the Knight of Wands reversed. I feel like if we don't face the reality of our thoughts and we don't come out of our head, it will keep us from progress. I think it's also time to put down this idea that we're not going to succeed. That because of all this chaotic shit that we don't feel like we can balance right now because of all the craziness going on, let that go. That is not your story. That's not our story, I should say. Your words speak life or death. So you need to be careful about what you speak to yourself, especially. I'm just going to pull a couple cards from here to clarify you. Okay. Clarify each line. Got authority and triumph. Authority for the first line. So with the temperance. I feel like this is also, if you're a divine masculine and you're really stepping into that, or I'm not going to say signs because this is for all of us. This is a personal thing. I feel like this is just coming into our personal power again, where we might have felt like we couldn't work on it before. Now we're realizing that we can always work on it, but it is going to take some, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of so many things, we could still stand in our personal power and do the work we need to do for ourselves. Kind of like take the reins whenever when no one's steering life. Anyway, just the image of absolute chaos came into my head. So some of you can't even see where you're going because you aren't even taking the reins to your life. And then you wonder why you feel like you might fail. And you keep that in your head. You probably stay very composed. But in reality, you don't even know where you're going. It's like swiping when you're looking out the window. It's like, was that a tree? Or was that like a moose? Like, I don't even know. Like, you're just... It's one of those feelings. So when you take the reins of your life, you're going to learn the balance. And it is okay. Like, you're going to have moments where you're not going to fully feel balanced. And that's okay, because we all have moments like that. Like, we'll always have moments like that in life. But I think some of us need to start knowing what it's really like to take the reins of our lives and make those choices. We also have triumph over the death, King of Swords in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. You are going to get past this. We are going to get past this. We have already. And we're going to continue. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to move forward. You know, this it's really hard to see it. It's really hard to see how we might be like this person, you know, riding on their horse in victory with their flag raised high. You know, it's hard to see that when we're sitting here, we're like, I don't even know what my life is anymore. It's hard. It's just like, well, are you sure though? Are we sure about that? It's like, oh yeah, I mean, I hope so. That's up to you, fam. It's up to you. I can't tell you shit. I'm just reading the cards. You do what you want. I hope you take the reins of your life because you deserve. You're very worthy of the life you want. Anyway, and then to clarify, the last is awareness. The Fool. Anyway, this does. I love how they took the Fool and made it about awareness. I love this card so much because when we think of the Fool, you know, you hear someone, you're like, yeah, damn fool. It's just like, okay, all right. No, it's not. And passion ignited at the bottom of the deck. So you are going to come back to yourself. You are going to get that fire again. Just took a little time. But awareness, being aware of your thoughts and facing them so they don't hinder your progress. Being aware of it. That's huge. But also knowing that taking chances and taking leaps is going to be a part of the balance of life. It feels completely imbalanced at times. Especially if you're like yours truly, and it's just kind of like, I kind of like to plan things just a little bit. I'm spontaneous. Like, people probably wouldn't guess that about me, but I really do like to plan things when it comes to major life decisions. Oh, figure. But no, like, I get it. I get it that it's like, is it really balanced for me to take this chance? Or is it really balanced for me to surrender? But I feel like with this card, it's saying your biggest priority right now so that you can move forward and find the balance that you want in life and for the rest of this year, so to speak, is to be aware that your thoughts are just stories. And that if you keep telling yourself, I'm not going to succeed, I'm not going to have this Ace of Wands or this Knight of Wands, I'm not going to, you know, have this progress in whatever area of my life, that's what's going to happen. And you need to be aware that your thoughts will leak into your physical. Your emotions will leak into your physical. It's all one. Whew. That was a really good card, though, for that line. I was kind of worried for a second there. I'm like, guys, it's all right, I promise. It's all right, I promise. And with the passion ignited, we're just going to get a few. We're going to end it. It's still 30 minutes. I don't know why I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh, just make it 20 minutes. And it's like, nah. Spirit has too much to say. Passion ignited tells me that, you know, usually when I see this card, I think of love, but I really feel like it's, what it's saying is, oh, hello. What I really feel like it's saying is you are going to find that fire. You are going to find that, I'm just sounding really southern right now. You are going to find that fire within. And it is going to take some heartache and loss. It is going to take some patience. It is going to involve the heart chakra. I can't make this up. I'm done. You know, my cards do this to me all the time, and I'm still just like, oh no. Like, I'm so surprised. I really am. All the time. All the time. But it is going to take heartache and loss. It's going to take patience. It's going to take opening your heart chakra. It's going to take these things to really progress. Boy. And the cards we got from our spirit guides. Don't dim to fit in. Don't dim your light. Don't hide yourself. Releasing old soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Unbound. This is what I'm talking about. This is the progress we have been doing and will continue to do throughout the year, probably in the next year. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So if any of you are questioning if this is you, I know I've been questioning this about myself. It's like, have people seen my videos with Kimberly? Mystic, teacher. Okay, but we can't walk out in public without looking dumb. If you're questioning this, don't. Obviously. I feel like that has a lot to do with intuition. A lot to do with getting in touch with that parts of ourselves. I know it says sisterhood, but masculines, just know that you still have that feminine side of yourself that need to click into. Update. If you have been holding back, especially in this time with family, you know, it took me a while to come out of the broom closet, so to speak, or to just, I don't even outwardly talk about things I believe in or whatever, just because it's like, I'm kind of open for everything, and I know that the other side isn't. So, but if you're hiding yourself and like you're trying to find balance, you're trying to go through a transformation, and you're trying to stay aware of your thoughts and all that stuff, it's going to be hard when you're focusing all your energy on trying to hide. I mean, that's just, it's gonna blow up. So releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Release any expectations you have of how people would respond. That's a message I'm getting right now. Also release any thoughts of yourself that no longer serve you. And realize what parts of yourself you need to let go. What you've been taught as a child. Even if you had like the idealistic childhood, sometimes, you know, and don't listen to people who will troll you and say you have nothing to blah 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 because my life's been bad. Like, fuck that. I'm not saying, like, parents are not perfect people. There are no such thing as perfect parents. And there are some little things that can lead to big problems within ourselves. And it's not that it was intentional. I feel like someone needs to hear this. If you feel like you have no reason to feel the way you feel, it's absolute bullshit. Accept how you feel and face whatever traumas. Because I know some people don't believe in past lives or stuff like their soul contracts, but you came here to learn these lessons. And you're not going to learn them if you keep trying to think logically, saying, I have no reason to feel this way. Fuck it. Just feel it and figure out where it's coming from so that you can grow from it and you can take the reins of your life. I just really felt like someone needed to hear that. Because if you're hurting, if you're in pain, it's the same. It doesn't matter where the source was from or if you even know where the source is from. If you're in pain, it's valid. And you can do the work to heal yourself. That part is on you. Don't let anyone tell you that your pain's invalid. Ever. Rise up and be okay with how you feel. And don't try to hide. You don't have to put a big light sign on your forehead saying I'm blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't have to do that. Just be true with yourself. Just be real with yourself. Anyway, that is all I have for today. I will announce all the Christmas specials I have going on. They're only going to last for about a week, week and a half, maybe 2, if some people need a little bit more time. But I'll announce those in the readings that are coming up this weekend. Like I said, if this resonates with you, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. I should be back on track with getting back with you guys on those comments. I really appreciate you. But yeah, I hope it served you in some way. And I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. You've got this. So, see ya.